Welcome to a new story in what we call Amazing Stories.
Oh, wow.
You ready for this one?
Always.
Today we're going to dive into a story that sounds unbelievable,
It does.
but it's actually true.
Yeah.
The story of Wojtek, a bear who became a soldier in the Polish army during World War II.
A bear in the army.
During World War II.
Wow.
We've got some great sources for this one.
Okay.
Excerpts from Texto Pagado, and as always, we're going to be checking out Wikipedia as well.
Solid sources.
Yeah, in this deep dive, we really want to understand how this incredible story actually happened.
Right.
And I think what's really interesting is what it reveals to us about camaraderie and resilience in times of conflict.
Yeah, it almost feels like legend, right?
It does.
A bear enlisting in the army.
It really does.
But as our sources show us, it's a factual account.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be tracing these key moments, the timeline of events.
Yeah.
And considering the effect this very unusual soldier had on the people around him.
Absolutely. So let's set the stage a little bit. The year is 1942.
Okay.
The world is in the thick of World War II.
Right.
And the Polish army has endured unimaginable hardship.
Absolutely.
So following the 1939 invasion of Poland, countless soldiers were captured by the Soviets,
Right.
and they were actually eventually released,
Okay.
and they began to regroup in Iran,
Yeah.
forming what was called the Second Polish Corps
Okay.
under British command.
Okay.
Now, I think it's important to grasp the context here.
Absolutely.
You know, these were individuals who had faced immense loss, suffering, and uncertainty. They were
Yeah.
so far from their homes.
Right.
And I think the formation of this new corps offered a spark of hope,
Yeah.
a chance to continue the fight for their homeland.
Absolutely.
And it's against this backdrop of war and displacement that our story begins to take shape.
Okay.
So as these Polish soldiers journeyed through Iran near a city called Hamadan, yes, in April 1942,
Okay.
they encountered a young local boy who had something quite extraordinary with him,
I'm intrigued. What was it?
a small orphan bear cub.
Oh, wow.
The cub's mother had been killed by hunters, leaving this tiny creature just weeks old,
Oh, no.
utterly vulnerable,
So sad.
unable to hunt or care for itself.
Right.
Its prospects were really bleak.
Yeah.
And you can only imagine how the soldiers, having witnessed so much brutality, must have felt encountering this helpless little animal.
Yeah.
Moved by its plight, they decided to step in and they essentially bought him from the boy.
What?
They offered him coins, canned food, essential commodities in those times, and even a knife.
Wow. That's really interesting.
Isn't it?
You know, this instinct to protect the vulnerable, even amidst the horrors of war.
Absolutely.
Maybe this small act of kindness
Yeah.
gave them some solace from the brutal realities surrounding them.
Totally. And they named him Wojtek.
Wojtek.
Wojtek, and Texto Pagado clarifies that this is a Polish diminutive of Wojciech,
Wojtek.
which means happy warrior,
Happy warrior. I like it.
which is very fitting, as we'll see. So over the next few months, Wojtek became completely integrated into the regiment's life.
Oh, wow.
He was raised almost as if he were one of their own. They fed him condensed milk from a repurposed vodka bottle,
What?
which I think speaks to the resourcefulness of the times.
It really does.
You know, he slept in their tents, he played alongside them.
I love that.
And you know, Wikipedia adds a charming little detail.
What's that?
They initially fashioned a makeshift feeding bottle
Oh, my God.
using a vodka bottle and a handkerchief with a hole in it.
That's amazing.
It's these little human touches that really bring the story to life.
They do.
And he formed a really strong bond with a soldier named Piotr
Okay.
and constantly sought him out for naps.
That's so sweet.
It is, and he wasn't just a passive companion either.
Oh,
Wojtek apparently learned to walk on his hind legs,
no way.
almost mimicking the soldier's march.
Wow.
And he developed some rather unique habits as well.
Okay, like what?
He acquired a taste for beer and would even eat or chew cigarettes, reportedly asking for more.
A bear smoking cigarettes.
I know.
That's hilarious.
Can you imagine?
He became a camp celebrity.
He did.
I love it. A welcome source of amusement in a very serious environment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Texto Pagado recounts several instances where he caused quite a stir,
Like what?
like wandering into the showers and surprising everyone.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
I know.
That's hilarious.
Imagine being a soldier, weary, wanting a moment of peace in the shower, only to encounter a bear.
Oh, my goodness.
And then there's the anecdote about him sneaking into the supplies
Whoa.
and devouring an entire stash of fruit marmalade meant for the quartermaster.
That's so funny.
I know, it's hard not to chuckle at that image.
These stories are great.
I know.
They underscore Wojtek's innocent and mischievous nature.
Absolutely.
Which must have provided a much-needed distraction for the soldiers.
Right.
You know, a bit of normalcy amidst the chaos of war.
Yeah.
And the fact that he learned to salute
I know.
by raising his paw.
I know.
It's incredible.
It really is. It suggests a real connection and understanding between him and his human companions.
It does.
But this wasn't just a heartwarming tale of a bear as a mascot.
Right.
In 1943, the 2nd Polish Corps was transferred to the Italian front,
Okay.
a major theater of the war.
Gotcha.
And this is where Wojtek's status becomes a bit of a logistical challenge.
I bet how so.
So the port of Alexandria in Egypt presented a significant obstacle.
Okay.
The British authorities were simply not permitting animals to board the ships.
Yeah, makes sense.
Regulations, even for a remarkably beloved bear, are regulations.
Of course.
And so the Polish soldiers, determined not to leave Wojtek behind,
Right.
they devised an absolutely unbelievable, yet ultimately effective solution.
What did they do?
They officially enlisted him as a soldier in the Polish army.
What?
Wojtek wasn't just a mascot anymore.
No,
He became Private Wojtek.
he was enlisted.
Officially, he was given a name, a service number, the rank of private, and even a daily ration of food.
Wow.
And beer.
And beer, a soldier's best friend.
I know, he was on paper at least just like any other soldier in the unit.
That's amazing.
And so just like that, Wojtek formally became a combatant.
Wow.
This act of official enlistment allowed him to board the transport ships
Oh, good.
and accompany his comrades to the Italian front.
That's amazing.
It's an act of incredible loyalty
It is.
and ingenuity on the
Yeah.
part of the soldiers.
It really speaks volumes about the bond they had formed with this bear.
Yeah,
They regarded him as one of their own
absolutely.
and were resolute in keeping him with them,
Yeah,
even if it meant navigating military bureaucracy.
exactly.
Wow, it makes you think about the nature of belonging,
It does.
especially in times of crisis.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And it was in Italy during the Battle of Monte Cassino in 1944,
Okay.
a pivotal and incredibly difficult battle
Yeah.
that Wojtek truly solidified his legendary status.
What happened?
So the terrain was treacherous.
Yeah.
The fighting was exceptionally fierce.
Of course.
And supplying the front lines with ammunition was a constant and perilous challenge.
I bet.
And that's where Wojtek stepped in.
What do you mean?
Literally,
Right.
as the soldiers struggled to transport heavy boxes of artillery ammunition,
Yeah.
Wojtek seemingly spontaneously began to help.
Get out of here.
He started carrying these heavy boxes himself,
All right.
walking upright, just like the soldiers beside him.
No way.
And both of our sources emphasize his apparent fearlessness
Yeah.
amidst the gunfire and explosions.
Wow.
This wasn't a trained animal performing a learned trick.
Right.
This was a bear seemingly understanding the gravity of the task at hand
Wow.
and contributing to the effort under incredibly stressful conditions.
That's really something.
It's an image that has become iconic.
Yes.
A bear carrying artillery shells during one of the most brutal battles of World War II.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just a single instance. He repeatedly aided in transporting these heavy loads,
Wow.
tirelessly moving back and forth.
That's amazing.
And this display of courage and assistance had a profound impact on everyone.
It must have.
Texto Pagado notes that the regiment later adopted an official emblem featuring Wojtek carrying an artillery shell.
Really?
This wasn't just a charming anecdote.
Right.
It evolved into a powerful symbol of their unit's resilience
Yeah.
and the extraordinary bonds that they shared.
It's amazing.
And after the Allied victory
Oh.
and the liberation of Italy,
Right?
the 2nd Polish Corps was relocated to Scotland,
Okay.
settling at a camp in Winfield.
Gotcha.
And naturally, Wojtek went with them.
Of course.
He continued to live as a figure of great interest, attracting visitors from all over
Yeah.
who were eager to see this renowned soldier bear.
He became a tangible connection to the stories of the war, a living testament to the circumstances
Absolutely.
and the bonds that were forged during those times.
And even when the regiment was disbanded in 1947, Wojtek's story didn't end.
No.
He was donated to the Edinburgh Zoo,
Okay.
where he lived out the rest of his years.
Gotcha.
But our sources recount how his former comrades would frequently visit him at the zoo. They would speak to him in Polish,
Yeah.
and he would reportedly react by perking up and even offering a salute with his paw.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It suggests that the unique bond they had formed during the war remained unbroken,
It does.
even in peacetime.
I love that.
Wojtek finally passed away in 1963 at the age of 21.
Okay.
But as both of our sources illustrate, his memory and his legend continue to endure.
They do.
He's become a powerful symbol in so many ways.
Absolutely.
There are monuments and statues erected in Poland, Scotland, Italy, and Iran,
Wow.
and they stand as enduring tributes to his remarkable legacy.
That's amazing.
And numerous books, documentaries, comics, and even an opera have been inspired by his life,
Really?
which underscores the impact of his story on our collective imagination.
It does.
And perhaps most poignantly, Text Pagato points out that his story is still taught in Polish schools today
Wow.
as a powerful symbol of fraternity, courage, and hope.
That's amazing.
You know, he wasn't merely an animal.
Right.
He embodies the resilience and spirit of the Polish people during a period of immense suffering.
Absolutely.
And it's a message that continues to resonate with younger generations.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
What's compelling here is how an animal
Yeah.
could come to represent such profound human qualities like
ask for that.
camaraderie and bravery.
Yeah.
It challenges our understanding of the boundaries between species
It does.
and the depth of connections that we can form in the most unexpected and challenging circumstances. So to bring all of this together, Wojtek was so much more than just a bear.
Absolutely.
He was a brother in arms to these Polish soldiers,
He was.
a living embodiment of humanity amidst the horrors of war.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're enjoying the content, please leave a like and subscribe. Also, if there's a specific topic you'd like us to talk about, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Thank you, and let's keep going.
Keep going.
So his story serves as a potent reminder
Yeah.
of the unexpected sources of solace and even courage
Right.
that can emerge during times of intense conflict.
Yeah.
It highlights the human need for connection
Absolutely.
and the extraordinary capacity of animals to offer that connection,
I agree.
even in the most extreme situations.
Yeah.
So consider this final thought.
Right.
How often might we underestimate the power of unexpected bonds?
Wow.
Wojtek's incredible journey compels us to contemplate how these connections can take root
It does.
and flourish even in the darkest of times.
That's powerful.
And what it truly signifies to find companionship and even heroism
Yeah.
in the most unlikely of beings.
I love that.
That's Wojtek's story.
Wow. What a story.
It's unbelievable, but it's true.
It's amazing.
And it's a good reminder
Of what?
that even in the darkest of times,
Yeah.
there's always hope.
Absolutely always hope.
Thanks for listening,
Thanks for having me.
and we'll see you next time.
See you later.